basically, this person puts everyone sharing pictures of their man's ick postures, and then she's just laughing in the TikTok. And then everyone just started sharing in the comments their boyfriends.
That one kills me. That one's sitting down.
This one says, writing his letter of recommendation. I mean...
Oh, no.
Yeah, when I first saw it,
oh my God.
Bro, I'm sorry, but 791,000 likes would make me break up with him. Genuinely.
No, I would kill myself.
I would literally,
not in Minecraft,
there's just no way. And honestly, bless him. Like, he's just trying to like get his shit done. You know what I mean?
The thing is, there's nothing wrong with his posture necessarily.
I think it's that he's like popping his back a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
he's giving
simultaneously, like, his head looks like humongous. Like, it looks like kind of like somebody photoshopped it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Yeah. I think also the chair is not helping him. Like, something about the chair, and you see the space between his back
so
really
far away from him
accentuates his pop of the back. Yeah, bless him.
Almost 1 million likes, bro.
No, I'm telling you, that don't make me hands at all. Oh my God, this one says 4 years later, still can't get over it, and he's literally
not the toes.
No, I would be so disgusted by this. I really would. Like, the tippy toes while eating, and I get it because I've definitely done that. Like, of course I've done that. You know what I mean? Because
like to try to bring your plate.
Yeah, your plate more like to the
give some height.
Well, because you want it to be on a consistent height. You don't want the plate to like slide down. Of course.
Exactly. It's gotta be level. You know what? I don't want to see it. Put some shoes on.
Oh my God, this one's so bad.
Okay, first of all, hands in the pants is my default. Okay, my hands live in my pants. I just need you to know this. It's warm. My thighs feel good. I like to put my hands right on my thighs and walk around the house, and I like to jiggle my own thighs. And then I like to do a little twerk. You know? Yeah, my hands are always in my pants. Okay, now... a few things. Discord said, I think this trend doesn't really sit right with me since a lot of women are posting their partners as more in a more effeminate positions, and it seems like it's meant to humiliate their partners the same way men will humiliate women, kind of like Selena Powell, Deshae Frost situation on stream. We talked about it a few weeks ago. But their girlfriend wives are utilizing allusions to queerness as a way to joke about men in order to gain some control. Okay, so yeah, I can see that for sure. I'm not sure if the girls are playing it up for stream. Like, I'm not sure if Jessie and her host friend are playing it up to sort of meme on it, but I would just say like all of these poses are very neutral and they certainly don't indicate anything. I will also say to the chatter who said in my chat, let me see. Hold on. You said it. You said, where did it go? You said that if you were really in love, like you wouldn't get the ick from someone you're really in love with. Maybe. I have definitely, I don't think that's true. I think you can get the ick from siblings, friends, partners. And I think what it is, here's what I think the ick is. It breaks the illusion of what you think of when you think of your partner, especially as it relates to something sexy and as it relates to family and friends, something more like mannered or someone you could vouch for. I think the ick is when someone kind of goes against or defies the idea of them in their, like you have of them in your head, especially if their reputation happens to have something to do with your reputation. So like, if like my brother, if I vouched for my brother, if a girl came to me and said, I'll use a non-romantic example because I think it does, this is how I think of the ick. If my brother was like, hey, put in a good word with this girl for me, I'm like, oh yeah. And the girl was like, is your brother super clean? And I'd be like, yeah, as far as I know, he's like super clean. And then I caught my brother being the most disgusting piece of shit ever. I'd be like, oh, and I'd get like an ick. Like I'd be like, ew, I can't see you the same. Like, hold on. Like, what are you doing? And yeah, Chad said, would it be synonymous to cringe? I think it's very much like an embodied cringe. Yeah, like, I think ick is like a cringe that makes you doubt your relationship to this person. It makes you doubt your like association with this person or how you feel about this person or like, you know, it just doesn't match. At least for me, when I feel like I get the ick, I'm like, oh, this image I had of you in my head was more charming and better than the reality of the situation. And now I'm like getting a genuine ick and I don't know what to do. And it makes me feel like I don't want to be around you anymore. And that's what the ick for me can feel like. So maybe some people don't have that extreme of a response and maybe for them, they just think it's kind of funny. But I feel like all of these poses are very neutral right now. And also I do all of them, you know, so I feel like they're all pretty neutral. But, you know, I will say, my partner and I both have, you know, we sit at the computer all day. So sometimes we both have like a troll posture and I'm like, and up, or goblin, we call it goblin. I'm like, and so sometimes he'll come in my office. He's like, holy fuck, you're such a goblin right now. And I'm like, look, okay, I'm not trying to be sexy, but it doesn't give each other the ick. but I can see why somebody else, it would give them the ick. It's very unflattering. Like, it's very unflattering, right? But, you know, Chat says, okay, but unconditional kind of overrides, right? Like in sickness and in health vibes. Nope. I've told my partner if the ick persists, I'll break up with them. If I get the ick from you and it's like serious and you don't stop, I will break up with you. I have one life to live, girl. I'm not going to do it for nobody. No, if there is a true ick, like it is so embodied. Like imagine you woke up and you found your partner. What's a good example? Like I'm trying to use one that isn't real, but is like, you know what I mean? But is, you know, gross. So hold on. So one that's not real for my marriage, but gross and, you know, what's one that people do? Hold on. Okay, I'll do one that's kind of harmless but real. If you go and hide in the bathroom on your phone to avoid time with me, that is such a big ick. Or if you like, if you were eating your own hair or biting your toenails is a great one. Thank you, chat. If you were biting your toenails, bro, oh my God. If I walked into, if you were Aiden Rossing it in my living room, do you know what I'm saying? It's not immoral. It's not unethical. It's disgusting. I am getting a physical vomit response from this thought. Absolutely not. Okay? Absolutely not. Yes, like Edmund eating your boogers, Edmund on Love is Blind. Yeah, I eat my boogers. And it's like, Edmund. That's great example. So toes, boogers, eating things, you know, whatever. I love you, but I can't live with this. I love you. I can't live with this. Great examples. And these boys on the internet just get out here and brag about a girl. They brag about it like they think it's cute. Literally think it's cute. And I'm like, anyways, the point is, great examples. So we agree. Though the ick, not unethical, not immoral, disgusting. You know, Chet said that is more like disgust more than an ick. I feel ick is different. For me, ick feels the same. I will say that's how my ick response has always felt. I don't know if somebody's having a different response. I do not know what people mean when they say ick. So that's also okay. Like if somebody has a different relationship with the word ick, that's great. We can talk about it. But yeah, I don't have, but that's how I think my Discord chatter was trying to say, I feel like they're getting a disgust response from their men, which feels homophobic, right? So for me, I think that works, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Because, you know, when people say like, oh, women are dumping their men over the ick, they're dumping their man because we're associating the word ick with like a disgust response. So I don't know if somebody else has a different relationship with that word, but it's valid if you do. Okay, let's go back to the video really fast.
Oh no, why would she share that? No, stop it.
I do think putting your man on blast is bullshit if he didn't give consent. Like I really do think it's really fucked up if these men don't know they're being posted.
Hand in his pants like a 4-year-old?
No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No.
Repairing our lives.
Okay, wait. Chat says, I feel like knowing you actually love someone is when you see some behaviors that give you a bit of an ick and still seeing them in the same light and being able to look past their weird and icky behavior. Respectfully, I think that's why people stay in abusive relationships. Because when you look past things that bother you, that are genuinely weighing on you, it builds resentment in marriage and causes for divorce. I would rather us divorce in a good spirit than us divorce because I grew resentful of you. It's disgusting. Stop eating your goddamn toenails. Grow the fuck up, right? I'm not looking past this. Stop biting your goddamn toenails. With peace and love, I'm not looking past it. Okay, if you wanted to marry me, it's informed consent. I do not consent to this relationship. If you hid from me that you bit your toenails and then I saw it, I have the right to say, hold up, I did not know I was marrying somebody who bites toenails. Absolutely not. So make a decision. Either stop this behavior or like, I'm out. That's what I think, you know, personally. But you know what I mean? Chad says, oh, great question. Can I bite my toenails in private? You can, but you're never going to kiss me again because every time I kiss you, I'm just going to imagine you biting your toenails. Nasty. What if you knew somebody who was drinking their pee or licked their poop on occasion just to see what it tasted like? Girl, you're not kissing me anymore. There are people who do that. I've met people who do that. I'm not doing it. That's what I'm saying with peace and love. We don't have to be married that bad. Damn, I'll be single. I don't need to be married that bad.
Socket looking like a question mark.
No, I don't believe you.
You know what that reminds me of? Like in Meet the Robinsons, there's the bowler hat guy, and he like, you know what I mean?
I was
Like,
gonna say,
Wait.
it's like a bad guy like tiptoeing and like trying to run.
Okay, wait, but when I really do this at home, I go like there is something, okay? There is something icky about it, but it's very not sexy. That's what it is. It's just not sexy.
Something like
like, you know what I mean? No, there's no need for that. Like, I get you have to bend down, but like, I don't understand it regardless.
no, horrible.
Oh my God. I do have an ick pose for Nassim.
No.
Oh my God. I'm going to see if he'll let me put it up. God, please, please.
Oh
please
man, I
let
bet you
him.
he won't. I bet you he won't.
Okay, wait. Also, Discord made a great point. It says, I also think it relates not just to homophobia, but ableism as well. For some of the photos being posted. Oh, that's a good point, actually. On Love is Blind, there was an ableist comment that I was like, but I wasn't shocked because she's a Trumper. But she was like, the way you talked about me made me feel so ugly, like I was Quasimodo. I was like, hey, don't throw Quasi under the bus like that. And I know she didn't think about it because conservatives don't, and a lot of us aren't raised to think about it. But like, why are you saying Quasimodo? Like, people don't live with disability. And you're basically saying like you treated me like I was, you know, someone with a disability. And I'm like, hey. But like, she obviously, you know, she doesn't hear the ableism in her commentary. But yeah, I definitely.
Okay, when we first went to Nashville, he was sleeping.
Oh my God, we talked about this. Yeah, that's not a Jesse. That's not an ick pose. That was like something happened to him.
No. Wait, are you talking about the sucking the thumb thing?
Oh, I'm talking about him sleeping like a dead raccoon.
Oh, no, I don't have a picture of that. Oh, yes, that's definitely an ick as well. But oh my God, the other one happened in Nashville, but it wasn't like, it was the first trip we went on with like Yesenia and all of them.
Oh, I thought you were talking about this Nashville.
No,
Okay.
the dead possum thing definitely gave the ick for sure. But basically, I turned over and I kind of looked at him in the...
Yeah, that stuff wouldn't give me the ick. So now I don't know what the ick is to them. Because if I saw my partner sleeping like a raccoon, I'd just be like, that's fucking hilarious. I love that. I love this. This is so funny. You know what I mean? I would just think it's funny. So I think ick can be something casual. For me, ick is like pretty serious. Like if I get the ick, it's like, uh-oh, I might never love you again. Like ick is like, uh-oh, okay, I'll give you one. How about this? You want to hear a serious ick? One of my little brothers, there was a bunk bed and we went to go, basically, I don't remember. Oh, I went to go lay down in the bed. That's what it was. I was like, he was on the bottom bunk and there was a top bunk. I went to go lay down on his bed to take a nap. And I looked up and I was like, and there were boogers smeared on the whole mattress. He was picking his nose and he's a grown up. Okay, he's not a grown up, but he was like 18. And it was all over the mattress. And I got out and I screamed for my mom. And I said, your son is, I wasn't living at home. I was visiting. I said, your son is disgusting. Oh, I'm going to puke just thinking about it. And he was just like, what? I didn't want to get up. He ruined a whole ass mattress. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you raised this boy. This is proof my parents gave up raising their kids as it got to the end. Because none of my siblings had ever done that. None of us had ever done that. My parents absolutely abandoned ship for those younger kids, okay? And I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm gonna tell people, you know? So again, when we talk about the ick, I'm saying like something that like makes you think like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's something fucking wrong with you. But then he was just like, what? It's just boogers. Ugh, gross.
Dark. And I was like, is he sucking his thumb? Like that was like the only thing I could see. And then I put on my flash for a second. I was like, this motherfucker is sucking his thumb. So I took a picture. He wasn't sucking his thumb, but he kind of fell asleep, like kind of like this. Like his thumb was like folded. And
yeah, I don't see why this is an ick. I don't, but you know, to each their own. I would just be like, oh, he looks cute. Sweet baby boy.
like right by his mouth. So it looked like he was fully sucking his thumb. And
Oh, chat says they're talking about mild turnoffs. Oh, I'm not even thinking about turning on, turning off. I'm thinking about more like, ew, like icky, like gross. Because that's what an ick is. Like it's icky, you're gross. You know what I mean? I don't think this is icky or gross.
I remember thinking in that moment, like, if I find out this guy's sucking his thumb, I am going to be so disgusted. Like genuinely.
If I find out after
It is a little weird that you weren't able to break the habit. I sucked my thumb till I was 12. Fun fact. It was very comforting. It was a very nice stem. I could see it being weird. I would say that I think it would be weird if my partner was like a grown ass person and they were like, I still suck my thumb. I'd be like, oh, let's get you a math guard. Let's figure that out. I kind of do get it. Yeah. If my partner if they were bragging about sucking their thumb, I think that's what it is. If they were, yeah, Jess has autism taking ick literally. Is that what I'm doing? You know, is that what I'm doing? Maybe is what I'm doing, right? Yeah. I think like when I see adults brag about especially women still sucking their thumb into their 20s, I'm like, girls, I did not need to know this about you.
15 years.
I'm gonna be just absolutely horrified. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna recover from that. Like, genuinely, I don't think I'll be okay.
I can't.
But luckily, I zoomed into the picture because I took it with like the flash that the front camera has. And when I zoomed in, I realized it was just an optical illusion. And then I showed him the next day. I go, motherfucker, I spent like 30 minutes trying to figure out if you were sucking your thumb or not. It was horrifying.
It was like, of course not.
Oh my god. Sorry, I just started scrolling down. Is that
him clenching his ass?
I don't even
It's hilarious. That's so funny.
think it's that he's clenching. I think the pants just got caught. I don't know if I can
Listen, it happens to me with my dumpy sweatpants all the
No,
time.
girl,
That's
do not
unacceptable.
do that to yourself. This is nowhere near what your dumpy looks like. This looks like a sad, because it's like ruffled at the I don't know. That wouldn't, I don't like that.
Wow, that's bad.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Guys, I know this is very, very Miami of me, but if I see a man con chancletas, me da algo. I cannot see a man with, if I see a thong, this is not a thong sandal.
What are you talking about? You haven't seen Bad Bunny with his little chancletas on stage when they turn all to the side and he's like trying to dance with them? It's so bad.
And I hate it.
And his jorts,
so bad. I hate
get
it.
out of here. Get out of here, Benito, por favor.
Especially
That did look really bad with no sound on, but also I'm from California. Wear your sandals, girls.
if you're going to wear sandals, please let them be basketball sandals and please put on socks.
They need to be slides. 100%. I agree.
Slides and you have to be wearing socks.
Yeah.
Girl, my man could wear high heels. I don't give a fuck.
With your slides.
100%. Oh my God. This picture of him swimming.
No, but it was mid swim and he was like doing the frogs.
It's funny. It's funny. It's not an ick. It's funny. I laugh at a lot. Like, we are a big laughing family. We laugh a lot. So I feel like all of these would just be funny, not icks.
I know, but it's horrifying.
Which is very embarrassing.
It's horrifying.
Very embarrassing, actually.
Awful. I hate it. Oh,
It's not even like, and these aren't even like cringe. Like, cringe is like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed for you. Like, that's how I feel about cringe. Like, oh, this is so embarrassing. But it's not like life or death. It's just embarrassing. Like, ick is more like I'm disgusted, and funny is just like, oh my God, this is so funny. Like, it's harmless, but I can't stop. It's so funny.
come on. This one, he's just going back to when he was a baby in his mommy's tummy. I feel bad for him.
First of all, this is the best sleeping position. The only difference is I would have a pillow between my knees, and if I don't, I use my hands. This is the best sleeping position. Okay? Or I go partially on my chest. I turn my top half onto the bed and I kind of like jackhammer my legs. All he needs is a pillow and he's sleeping like a king.
With his little
was so
Pikachu
funny.
stuffy pillow. I feel bad for him. Come on. With our newborn.
There we go
Oh my
again.
God, the tippy toes. But he's just trying to, he might be a short
Listen.
king. He's trying to level out. You don't
Okay, pause. Let's be serious for a second. If this is what women mean when they say they get the ick, you guys are fucking crazy. Because people tell me this, they're like, no, Brittany, women are getting the ick out of like the most casual shit. I was like, no, they're not, bro. They're probably mad you're eating your boogers or something. They're like, no. And I'm like, that's probably what it is. And they're like, no. If this is genuinely your ick, you really gotta fucking get it together. Like, nothing is happening in this photo. Like, absolutely nothing is happening in this photo. So I actually now am concerned that there actually is a group of people that think there's anything happening in this photo.
want your baby falling.
Yeah, you don't want a slanted baby. Like, I get it.
Oh my God.
No.
What is this? Oh my God.
First of all, it's called frog. Isn't it called frog or something? I do it in yoga all the time to stretch my legs. It feels really good. But also, yeah, ladies, like what's happening right here? Like, there's really not, I haven't seen one yet that was the ick. Somebody like show me a guy picking his nose and then like try to finger you or something, and then I'll be icked out. Like, there's nothing gross happening yet.
Frog pose. I don't like that.
Oh my God, it's giving like stripper move. Ah! What the?
Okay, this is hilarious. My toes also changed color really dramatically, so like no judgment. My feet look crazy when I've been sitting on them for too long, but this is hilarious. This is just hilarious.
Wait. Stop the fucking movie right now. What is happening? He has had those toes curled for so long that the circulation's cut off their light. Yeah, they're dying off. And where's his fifth toe? I can't. There's too many
Oh
questions.
my God, for real. Maybe he's got 4.
And he's wearing sandals. So like it's like a quadruple threat here.
Actually.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
I don't like this. Lots of feet things. Oh, come on.
Hey, come on.
This guy's just sleeping, pobre.
I know, for real.
Yeah, some of these girls are ruthless, I'll say.
I know.
Yeah, I think they're just having fun, like Jessie and her host. I don't think they mean it rudely. I think they're just trying to have fun with the they might not even be, I'm being serious because this is a philosophy channel, but I think they're just trying to be funny. And I do think like I can struggle as a content creator on when I'm going to be funny and when I'm going to be serious. And it's a hard line because when we're trying to be funny, we also can come off really mean, but we don't even mean it. We're just trying to like make people laugh, And so I can see them struggling to sort of express like humor, especially if this is a casual podcast. So I want to say that I don't think the girls are, meaning to be mean girls. I'd hate to think that's what they're doing. Let's see. Chat wants me to look up the definition of ick. What is the ick? The ick is a sudden feeling of disgust, revolution. I'm revolted. Wait, why do I feel like that word is wrong? A deep cringe towards romantic partners, often triggered by minor, trivial, or previously overlooked behavior. It marks an instant loss of attraction, making it difficult to continue the relationship. Often linked to Gen Z slang and popularized by Love Island in 2017, it is a visceral, uncontrollable feeling rather than a logical decision. What do you guys think about that? I think that's right. Revulsion. Thank you. I knew I was saying it wrong. Revulsion. Yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Yeah, I think that's what the ick is to me. But I do think like the third part, previously overlooked behavior, is the part that it could be a deal breaker. Like, hey, I didn't know you did this, and if you continue to do this, like, what, like, that's gonna be a problem. Or triggered by a minor and something trivial. Like, yeah, maybe like, I don't know why that gave me the ick, but it did. Something like that. You know what I mean? But I think like some people are it's just slang for a feeling we already know, which is like, I'm turned off. Like in my generation, you should be like, you're turning me off right now. Even if it's not a sexy moment, you would be like, it's a turn off. Like you farting is a turn off. Right? So like, that's what my generation would say. So this generation is just calling it the ick. Right?
Oh my God.
Oh, no, come on. He's just...
No, come on, nothing. No, come on, nothing.
I mean, it's just funny. It's just hilarious. But it's not giving me the ick. It's just funny.
I mean, it looks like somebody's in front of him laying out like that, you know?
Like, I'm not turned off. What I'm seeing here is the potential if he bent over a peg position. So honestly, I'm turned on, really.
I mean, like, yeah, somebody's laying down, he's sitting on top of them. Yeah.
Like missing his legs.
I mean, it's not that bad. Oh, I wouldn't like this one.
Like me?
Yeah, I wouldn't like that one. Oh my God. Wait, that actually looks like he's trying to like fuck the wall.
That is so funny. This is so funny.
Like, I don't like that. What is happening?
Actually, like maybe he's like, listen, when I was younger, I used to like lean on the pool like that.
Don't stop. No, we're not doing that. We're not.
And I do think this kind of discussion can actually lead to people not sitting a particular way. Like growing up, if men sat like with their legs crossed in a particular way, it'd be considered like feminine. And so people would be like, don't sit like a girl. And then that kind of changed up and men crossed their legs more. So I think, I think there's that part of it that plays into this. So, people can you can just make people uncomfortable. I think it's good to embrace silliness though and healthy laughter to say like, oh, I am sitting like a goblin. And it's like kind of funny and you like lean into it, which is kind of funny because it's not an ethical issue. It's not a moral issue. And then there's the other part of like, hey, seriously, are you getting disgust when you look at me? And I think that's important. I think like if you've ever had a breakup with somebody, you really start to get the ick about their behaviors. There's that great scene in that show I don't like with Kristen Bell, where she starts to get the ick about his behaviors and things that previously looked okay started to look really icky. I've had that happen with exes so much, where like something your ex does is like you think it's kind of cute, and then after a while you're like, wait, and then you like realize things about them are kind of gross, and you're like, it's like the rose-colored glasses break. And then you start to get like the ick, or you start to realize like, so, there's that part of it that I think comes into play here. Jess says, what do you think about Kira saying coffee dates are an ick? Yeah, I think she's okay to have that experience. I would deconstruct it personally the same way that I would tell a woman, if you got an ick because a man wore high heels, like you should deconstruct that. Or if you got the ick because a man crossed his legs or looked a little bit more gay, like you should definitely, or feminine, like deconstruct that. Like it's okay to come to that answer at the end to say like, oh, it's just like not a thing for me. Like I just see it and I'm like, this isn't the image of my partner in my head. But then again, like, you know, again, I'm so queer that I wouldn't care if my partner came, you know, their regular clothes, which they are not, but if they were high heels and a corset every day, to be like, cool. I'm actually more turned on, honestly. But like, that's not, you're asking a person who's like so deconstructed that I don't give a fuck about any of this. None of this matters to me. You know, what matters to me is hygiene. What matters to me is manners. What matters to me is how you treat people. What matters to me is like, you want to talk about an ick? Treating wait staff badly. I will get an ick. It's like my brain will just malfunction. If I see a grown man yell at a waitress, if I see a grown woman, if I see a grown adult yell at somebody making minimum wage, the ick will be so real. You know what I mean? So I care more about stuff like that personally. But yeah, like I think any response you have in your life, you should sit down and think about. Because even though, again, it's not about morals all the time, it could be about like the overall picture. Like eating your toenails as an example isn't a moral issue. You really can't argue that it's unethical or immoral. What you would argue is when I see you bite your toenails and I'm processing the reality that, let's say your person wears sandals, you've been in sandals all day and there's all that dirt and you're willing to put it into your mouth. I'm just getting very animal. I'm getting like ill-mannered. I'm getting disgusted. I can't help but imagine it when I kiss you. And I just feel kind of embarrassed. And honestly, I just think it's kind of gross. So I'm not saying you're an evil person for biting your toenails, but if you continue to bite your toenails, I can't. And that would be like a good example of how the conversation would go, because like you really can't argue the ethics. Like there's nothing, society isn't going to burn down if everyone's biting their toenails. And I would say for the sake of this relationship, okay, is Aiden Ross listening? For the sake of whoever marries Aiden Ross, other than everything that's wrong with about him openly, actually XQC did the same thing, didn't he? Didn't XQC eat his toenails or like bite his toenails on stream too? Streamer boys are disgusting. But there's something about that where it's like, I don't want to be with somebody who bites their toenails and eats them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do it. Okay. Now, I feel the same way. Are you ready for this? I feel the same way about fingernails now. Now that I stopped biting my fingernails 3 years ago, I feel the same way about fingernails. If anything, I feel worse about it in some ways. So when I watch like people on stream bite their fingernails, I now know what I looked like all those years. Now I know why people thought I was disgusting. People literally be like, Brittany, biting your fingernails is gross. And I'm like, no, it's not. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm disgusting. I can't believe I used to bite my fingernails. And like, I don't do that anymore. I'm so proud of myself. Now I trim them with a nail clipper and a file. But I used to bite my fingernails. Yeah. And that's what it is. Like, that's what I think at the end of the day. That's the way you have to seem to have, like, you have to have the conversation that way, because there's, again, no one's like killing anybody out here.
Doing that. No.
When I was younger.
No, stop.
It's just a nerdy pose. It's just not very sexy, which, by the way, I hope you know, every time your man hitting it from the back, that's what it looks like. Your man hitting it from the back, what do you think he's doing right now? Especially if he's super tall. I dated a very tall man. Let me just tell you, if you saw that angle from the back, it would be hilarious.
Cool. And they had a jet. I used to hang off.
I know. Just stop. I don't want to hear. I actually don't want to do this with you.
I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew what it felt like.
Oh my God, I can't. That is too much. Oh no.
Oh hell no. I'd wake him up and be like, who are you dreaming about? I'd slap him. Be like, what are you biting your lip over?
Why are you biting your fucking lip like that?
Who are you sexing in your dream? No.
I know Discord brought it up again. I already talked about it, like the contempt you'd have to have for your partner. Yeah, but you don't know if these men consented to it, right? So like, I don't know if these men consent. A lot of men would find this funny. You have to remember, there's a lot of guys out there that'd be like, oh my God, post a photo, make me viral. That'd be so funny. So I'm going to assume all these women got consent from their partners. Just like Jesse said, let me make sure I get consent from mine, right? But I have to assume that's happening. If it's not happening, that's really fucked up. But these men should dump these women if that's the case. Because why are you posting my photo to make fun of me? And I really fully believe that a lot of these men think it's funny. You know, so it just depends on the situation. Right? It just depends. But yeah, I think a lot of people don't think it's abnormal to take photos. I mean, I was with somebody and they took a photo. Okay, so my partner and I don't take photos casually. Like, my partner is not the biggest fan of having their photo taken, and we're very private about photos in general. And my friend was visiting and she pulled out her phone and took a photo of us without asking. And I was like, oh my God, like that was so weird because I'm so used to us being so private about photos. But she's coming from the perspective of like, we're just taking a photo together. And I understand that too, because when I'm with some of my friends, we just whip out the phone. When I'm with her alone, we whip out the phone. We take like 50 photos together. But my partner is just not that person. So I was like, hey, in the future, because I don't know who you're sending it to, just let us know if you're going to take a photo. And that sounds so weird, but that is like some people's boundary is like, don't just like take a photo of me. But then for young people, or especially for people on the internet, it's so normal for them to take a photo and then post it. They don't even ask. But millennials, they tend to be like, hey, can I post this? You know? So everyone is different, right?
This is too much. I can't handle these. Like the ones on their knees, I can't handle the ones on their knees.
No, I know. Oh, hell no. If my man was playing like this,
No.
I'd have an issue.
Like, what is he holding on to? Oh, that's a computer.
He's like leaning
a
in
mouse.
front of, yeah, like he's leaning to the computer.
Yeah.
But his ass
Yeah.
stayed back in my
He
ass.
needs to move that desk forward, girl. You can't game like that. You need to be up in it. You ever see that guy who games and he's like this? His head is like on the screen. You gotta get in it. You gotta get closer, you know?
I mean, and he's in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, this guy looks like he's
Honestly, I stand like that all the time.
really.
I swear to you, this little, oh, no, this is a joke.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
That's a joke. Come on.
Oh,
Pobrecito. No, I don't like this
hey,
one.
he's kind of rocking your dumpy. Your dumpy.
Yeah, I feel like if my partner's booty looked like this, I'd be like, I love you so much. We're gonna get you new pants.
Looking the denim.
Yeah,
He's kind
we're
of slaying
sleeping
it.
ass.
If
I will say that. I will say that if I think my partner's looking goofy, I'll be like, change. If I would never, I love my people too much to let them leave the house goofy. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, not goofy is different than even PJs. Like, you could leave the house PJs, you know, dress down and not look goofy. Goofy is goofy though. Like, you know, maybe it's my family too. My parents are very like, they dress really well. And they would tell us before we left the house, like, no, change. It doesn't work. And like, it kind of gives you a sense of like how you show up in the world, especially in a world that judges so harshly. Like, it is kind of nice to have somebody who's in your corner, especially since for a lot of my life, like, people, I think didn't want to tell me I wasn't pulling it off. It's nice to have people who are like, you're not pulling it off. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, thank you for not letting me leave the house if I'm not pulling it off. Or to acknowledge I'm not pulling it off, but we're doing it anyways. You know?
he had covered up how absolutely comically high-waisted his jeans were, I think that genuinely his dumpy would have been like fine for me, you know?
Okay.
Especially since in my marriage, we do deodorant checks all the time. We're like, spin, deodorant check. And we check to see if we got deodorant on our clothes because we wear a lot of black. You know what I mean? It's nice. It's nice to, you know, have somebody who has your back for those things and isn't just like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter on the scheme of things. It matters to me. Do I have deodorant stains on my clothes before I leave the house? How about cat hair? Is there too much cat hair? Like, should we use a thing?
For sure.
Oh, is he with
like
us?
that.
Is this guy still here?
Honestly, when I was a kid, I used to do this in the pool. See how long people notice I was drowning. I was never drowning.
I don't think so.
Or has he passed the
Is
one?
this like the
Did you
the fifth
drown him?
element?
Yeah, what is happening? Oh my God. This one says ruin my day.
Oh, girl. Like, I get it. Like, having a bad posture is difficult. We don't know why he has that bad posture, but I obviously think it's a joke because she said, ruin my damn engagement photos. So laugh emoji. It's a joke. They think it's funny. But yeah, like, I get it. I get it. There are certain photos of our wedding I won't post because my fingernails are trash. That's when I stopped biting my fingernails after my wedding because the wedding photographer did a zoom in on our hands and I was mortified at my own nails. I was like, oh, and I can't post them. I don't show anybody those photos. They look so bad. It's me. I ruined our wedding photos. And I was like, that's it. No one's ever seeing these. And that's what changed my life. And now you can zoom in on my hands all you want, girl. At least they're organized. They're short, but they're organized. Okay. I also just recently had to retrim everything because I broke like 3 of my nails. I hate that. That's the worst part about nails. You grow them out, they get long, and then 3 of them break, and you got to restart everything all over again.
Damn
Anyways,
engagement pictures.
No, why is he standing like that?
No, God bless. He has a condition for sure.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know actually if he like knows it because her saying like he ruined it. Like, there's no way he doesn't just stand like this.
He's like,
yeah, like if he has a condition, We don't know, but I doubt if he had a condition, she would make fun of him, but maybe.
He's like standing like this. Like,
I think he has like scoliosis or something, you know?
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Although I'm not gonna lie, this is how I looked when Alex told me on the cruise, like, girl, straighten up. Like, cause I was literally like hunched over the coffee bar like that. Yeah. Yeah. I have very bad posture for sure.
I mean, so do I. If our chairs didn't have backs, oh boy.
No, some of these girls are brave for this. Like, for real.
Oh my God.
This is funny.
He's just thinking while he sleeps. He's like Nassim.
Oh
That's
my
a philosopher
God.
right there, baby.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. Okay, if you know you are rock climbing and you want to go from one little pebble to the other side all the way like that, then you do it slowly and gradually. You don't do a cheerleader split move and looking like a damn, like, ew, that's such an ick.
Or like at the very least, like, it
I mean, he's bouldering. Like, I don't know what the ick is here.
wouldn't have been bad if like you go to the rock that's far away, but then you kind of like bend the knee, you know, like you do like a side
Right,
lunge
okay,
there.
like give me some athleticism.
Yeah,
Give me some
this is
athleticism.
giving you're stuck now. Like we have to go rescue you.
It's giving your first time on the wall.
And listen, I do understand icks are funny because they're pretty harsh. They usually are just like icks because you're like existing weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
Exactly. And I have so many. It's my weird ass aquarium. I stand in many icky ways.
Okay, see how Jesse defined ick? You're just existing weird. I didn't think that's what an ick was, but it's good to know that in different bubbles, an ick is just like when you're kind of being goofy versus for me, an ick is like a real repulsion response. So, okay.
I know it, but you know, it's just
oh
fun
no,
to
no,
make fun
I
of a man.
definitely do. And actually, they have made fun of my toes. Remember that Joey said my toe looked like Cinderella, like the stepsister's trying on the glass slipper? Like, yeah, I do agree. I have very weird habits. And I'm sure while I'm editing specifically that my toes are in all sorts of, you know, and Nassim has so much grace in his heart for me, you know, but
For
he doesn't
sure.
call it out.
Imagine if he just started taking pictures of all your ick poses.
No,
Oh.
literally, I would be horrified. Meanwhile, then there's me with his damn thumb sucking while he's unconscious, he's asleep, and being like, if he is sucking his thumb, I'm not gonna be okay with this. You know what I mean?
That's different though. That's
That is
different. That's
different.
not
I
him in
agree.
like a random ick pose. That's him sucking his thumb secretly for years. What's that about?
No, that was my first thought. Is I'm like, why would he go to do this? You know, like in his subconscious, like he doesn't suck his thumb at night. Would you ever be with a guy who sucks his thumb at night?
No.
What if he's the best guy ever? Is like everything on paper that you could ever ask for, but he sucks his thumb at night?
Okay, but like, is it like he's actually for real? All those things?
Yes.
Like not just like a serial killer. pretending
No,
to be
he's
all
the
those things.
best guy you could ever like ask
then,
for on paper.
yeah.
You would be fine with it?
If he's the best guy ever and what he sucks his thumb, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh.
Not a non-negotiable
it
for
would
you.
give me the ick. It
Yeah.
would give me the ick, but
I feel like people can't hide that they suck their thumb because their teeth show it. You know what I mean?
or it's different. It's,
People always say that, but no one's ever looked at my teeth and said, you sucked your thumb as a kid. I don't know. I think everyone's different. That's just a stereotype. Yes, some people have teeth problems, but never as a dentist. None of my dentists ever asked if I sucked my thumb. When people find out I sucked my thumb till I was 12, they're like, wait, really? And I was like, yeah, never noticed. So I don't know. I don't know if that, obviously it doesn't happen to everybody, but you know.
it's actually different because sometimes either your teeth go forward or like the top of your mouth goes up. Trust me, I know because I sucked my thumb like majority of my life.
Oh
when I was
my
younger.
God.
Not majority of my
Shout
life.
out.
Like, okay, so I was a tete kid and I had a tete and like everywhere all over the house. And then they put a pool. This is the story. They put a pool in my backyard and my parents sat me down and said, you cannot get into a big person pool, a big kid pool, unless you get rid of your tetes. Like,
Oh my
you
God.
have to get rid of the tete. And like, I really wanted to get in the pool or whatever. And so I was like, okay, I could do it. I could do whatever. They threw away all my, I remember this like if it was yesterday. I must have been like 6 years old. When
Oh
this
my
happened.
God. And your teeth weren't completely fucked?
No, like the tete didn't fuck up my teeth. And I was like, okay, I'll get rid of all my tetes, whatever. And I had a mental breakdown
Oh.
when all my tetes were gone, like so bad. And instead of being like, listen, mama, that's the way the cookie crumbles, my parents were like, you know what? Just suck your thumb. Like, try this.
Stop it.
And I
You were
sucked my
like,
thumb until I was
perfect.
like 10 years old. Yeah.
Oh
I was like 10.
no. What made you stop?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm going to middle school. Maybe I should
You were
stop.
just self-regulating. That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't always like stick your
Wow.
teeth out. It didn't happen to me, but it did. I feel like it did something to the roof of my mouth. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you did stop. Okay.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Is this
Oh
the
my
end of
God,
the
dude, I had
segment?
written down because I was watching TikTok and a clip.
Okay, I'm going to say that's the end of the segment. I will say generally, when you communicate things, it's important to talk to the person that you're actually building a life with because words do mean different things to different people. So not everybody defines ick as the same thing. Obviously, as we've learned, not everyone defines cringe as the same thing. And I do think it's important to process what is good for your relationship and in your even friendships, honestly, because I do think these things can impact the way you socialize and the way you look at people. And I do think, like, look, at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, like Andrew Tate gives me the ick. Like Menosphere Boys give me the ick. Okay. Like they literally make me never want to have sex again. Like when I see Andrew Tate and Justin Waller and Sneeko, they make me never want to get naked again. Like they make me want to just like, I can't believe I've even looked at a man before. Like they make me wish I was a lesbian and I'm pansexual, so I can't help it. But like sometimes, you know what I mean? Like that's the feeling I get. But that's because I'm disgusted by them. You know, I'm like disgusted by them. So I do think for me, the ick is like a disgust, like, ooh, absolutely not. Cringe is like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, oh, this is so bad. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. You know, like I feel your embarrassment. And then like, just like not being interested or not attracted to somebody is like nothing is happening. So like there's a difference between like nothing is happening, there's nothing here, and like there's so much negativity here. Absolutely not. You know? My friend was telling me about a coworker of theirs who at a restaurant was like very dismissive of wait staff. And my friend was like, I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know what to do. And I was like, just don't go out to lunch with them again. Be like, you're rude to wait staff, you know? Remember how I dated that guy in my early 20s who refused to tip? And when I tipped, because I'm a tipper, he like got in a big fight with me and like was like, I can't believe you did that. That's so fucked up of you. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe like you would go against. I was like, your values are your values. My values are mine. I'm not going to a restaurant and not tipping. I would never date somebody who didn't tip. Okay. We're in Europe and we often tip. And like Europe doesn't even need you to tip. Okay. So like, I just need you to be completely like, you need to understand. There is a whole, he is not alone. Like he is not unique. There are a lot of people who don't believe in tipping. And I think you all fucking suck. Okay. Make your food at home. Okay. Stop putting people in a position to do labor and then not understanding the culture around that labor. Okay. Okay. And again, like even in Europe, we mostly tip delivery drivers if we get anything delivered because it's like they're going out of their way. They're on their scooter. A lot of them are also immigrants or, you know, foreigners here on a visa. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to tip. Okay. With that said, I think we covered this topic. Any last thoughts about the ick?